Hey, Pete Davidson left a provocative voicemail from Senior VP of Cruelty Investigations at PETA. Davidson said, "So why don't you do your research before you fucking create news stories for people because you're a boring, tired fuck. Fuck you and suck my dick." Pete's voicemail was left after the VP of PETA described his decision to purchase a Cavapoo puppy from a store instead of adopting as tragic. So PETA called him out like, "You bought a dog instead of adopting from us." Can y'all blame PETA for going off? Can y'all blame Pete for going off on PETA? And by the way, he's highly allergic to a lot of dogs. He can only like rock with one dog, one kind of dog, I guess. So that was his decision. And his family's dog just died. So he was just trying to like make good. Who wants to go first on this? Al?
When I first read his response, like suck his D, I was like, okay, Pete, did you take your meds this week? Like, come on, like what? That's a $100 question to me. But then after reading the story, I'm actually glad that someone like Pete Davidson is taking on PETA, because PETA, to me, it feels like that PETA group is almost like a cult, almost like a terrorist group in my book. And they've been given, they've been giving flack to celebrities for a very, very long time. So good for Pete. They always run up on people. Remember how they ran up on Portia Williams when she was doing her book signing? I just feel like finally somebody is taking on PETA. So thumbs up for Pete Davidson speaking out against PETA on this case.
Before we move on, Funky, I just want to let you know that there's so many salt shakers in the chat, and they're putting little alligators for Florida. So
you know what? Forget you and forget them, okay? So listen, in this situation, it's just like a defense attorney when they're defending a murderer, somebody who know we did it, they still have a job to do, right? While I don't agree with PETA jumping the gun, I understand strategically why they did it, right? To continue to drive this fear into people about purchasing dogs from pet stores because they get their dogs from puppy mills. Period. Hard stop. On the other token, to your point, Claudia, Pete said he was allergic. The mom did just lose a dog. And we have to point out, not every single dog in a pet store comes from a puppy mill. That's unfair to say. There's a high likelihood that it probably did, but they also come from private breeders that also, raise the dogs with love and care. All in all, I definitely think PETA was wrong. And quite frankly, he didn't cuss their ass out good enough as far as I'm concerned.
Do we know what is the mission of PETA? Because I thought when I read their mission statement, I thought it was to educate communities on how to protect dogs. What is the mission, and what part of their mission allows them to attack him in this way?
Well, I think with the thing with the pet store is pet stores get dogs from puppy mills, which are unsanitary. They keep the dogs in bad conditions. That's the narrative that has been put out there. And that is why they push this whole adopt a dog versus buying a dog from the puppy mills, not to mention our shelters are overran with dogs. So that's the protection of dog piece from purchasing versus adopting.
Did they think it was going to go over like that Pete Davidson that we know is saucy and spicy and he's a comedian, he got jokes? Did they think he was going to let them get that off on him without saying something like that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's cool to personally attack an individual like that. They can like maybe send an email. They can they could have handled it in a different way. To kind of put him on blast like that, I thought was kind of like, if your organization is about defending creatures and animals, right? I don't think it makes you look good when you attack humans doing it. Yeah. There's more tactful ways of doing it. You turn a lot of people off with that. And y'all are becoming like a little gang.
She got hurt in the end because what I would like to see happen, and I think the classy-based thing to do would be for that woman to issue an apology. But again, when we start talking about strategy, maybe she's willing to take it on the chin for the press that they got to further send the message that they don't want people buying dogs from pet stores. I mean, if that was their strategy, it definitely did work.